Welcome back to Starstruck TV, your go-to channel for the juiciest movie insights, reviews, and debates. Today, we're diving into Blink Twice 2024, Zoe Kravitz's star-studded thriller that has everyone buzzing. While the film has dazzled audiences with its gripping story and jaw-dropping twists, it's not without its flaws. Today, we're going to uncover and break down the major plot holes that left fans scratching their heads. But before we get into it, here's your spoiler alert. If you haven't watched Blink Twice yet, bookmark this video, go watch the movie, and then come back to join the discussion. For everyone else, let's dive into the gaps, inconsistencies, and unanswered questions that have sparked so much debate. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into your favorite films. Plot hole 1, the perfume dilemma. Let's start with the most obvious plot hole, the memory-erasing perfume. In the film, Slater King's sinister plan hinges on a chemical-laced fragrance that wipes memories. The perfume is marketed as a luxury item, gifted to Frida and the other women at the resort. However, here's the kicker. They aren't forced to use it. Why would Slater rely on something so uncertain? The women could have easily decided not to apply it, completely derailing his scheme. Frida herself questions the perfume's purpose after learning its effects, but by then, the damage is done. This raises an even bigger question. Why didn't the perfume have a mandatory application mechanism, especially given how crucial it is to Slater's control? Fans have theorized that King banked on the social pressure of luxury. Who wouldn't try an expensive gift from a billionaire? While plausible, it feels too shaky for someone as meticulous as Slater. It's a glaring hole in what is otherwise a tightly controlled operation. This gap really removes the entire plot of the film, and without this detail solved, the whole scenario is in jeopardy. It's one of those things that keeps me up at night. What if Frida never used the perfume and was simply a witness to everything that was going on? What if she was simply pretending to have forgotten for survival when she realized the other women couldn't remember what happened? But of course, asking these questions is counterproductive to enjoying the film. So let's move on to number 2. Plot hole 2, the surveillance conundrum. Next, let's talk about surveillance, or the lack thereof. For a tech mogul running an island filled with high-stakes experiments, Slater King doesn't seem to have the sophisticated monitoring system you'd expect. Sure, there are cameras, but they're used sparingly and seem focused on controlling the women in broad strokes, rather than preventing escape attempts. For example, when Frida and her friends uncover evidence of Slater's schemes, they're able to investigate without being immediately detected. The film shows Slater's team monitoring some areas, but it's oddly inconsistent. Why isn't the entire island under constant surveillance, especially in key locations like the lab? And when the group sabotages his plan, the delay in Slater's response feels unrealistic, given his supposed technological prowess. Some viewers have argued that this oversight reflects Slater's arrogance. He didn't think anyone could outsmart him. While that adds an interesting layer to his character, it doesn't justify such a glaring lack of precautions. Plot hole 3, the escape logistics. Let's move on to the grand escape. The climactic moment where Frida and the others commandeer a boat and make their way to safety is exhilarating, but also riddled with questions. First, how did they manage to find and operate the boat so easily? The film doesn't show any of them possessing the skills necessary to navigate such a vessel, let alone bypass what should have been heavy security around it. Moreover, considering Slater's resources, why wasn't the boat tracked or sabotaged to prevent an escape? A billionaire who orchestrates elaborate memory erasure experiments would surely have thought of contingencies for something as basic as someone stealing a boat. It feels like a convenient way to wrap up the story without addressing the logistical challenges that such an escape would entail. Plot hole 4, Slater's overconfidence. Speaking of Slater, his character's overconfidence presents another gap in the plot. While his arrogance is central to his downfall, it's hard to believe that someone as cunning as him would leave so many loose ends. From the perfume's voluntary application to the lack of airtight security, Slater's planning feels oddly careless. For instance, why didn't he anticipate Frida's resistance? The film emphasizes her intelligence and determination, yet Slater seems blindsided by her actions. Additionally, his decision to personally confront the group at the end feels out of character for someone who has relied on minions and manipulation throughout the story. Why take such a direct and risky approach when he could have easily avoided it? Plot hole 5. The role of the other women. Another inconsistency lies in the depiction of the other women on the island. While Frida emerges as the protagonist, the other women are initially portrayed as equally skeptical of Slater's intentions. However, as the story progresses, they fade into the background, serving more as plot devices than fully developed characters. For instance, why didn't any of them confront Slater earlier, especially after experiencing memory lapses? The film hints at their unease, but doesn't explore why they don't band together sooner. Additionally, their ultimate willingness to trust Frida during the escape feels rushed, given the minimal interactions shown between them. This lack of character depth makes their actions feel less believable, detracting from the film's otherwise compelling narrative. Plot hole 6. The why now question. Finally, let's address the timing of Slater's experiment. Why did he choose this particular group of women and this specific moment to execute his plan? The film doesn't provide a clear answer, leaving viewers to wonder what triggered this phase of his scheme. Was it simply opportunistic, or was there a deeper motive tied to the women's individual backstories? Without this context, the plot loses some of its emotional weight. While the film successfully builds tension, the lack of clarity around Slater's motivations creates a gap that undermines the story's stakes. And there you have it, our breakdown of the major plot holes in Blink Twice. Despite these gaps, the film remains a thrilling ride, filled with suspense, stunning performances, and unforgettable twists. But these inconsistencies are hard to ignore, sparking debates among fans about what could have been done differently. Creating a thriller film is not an easy feat, so let's give a little grace to Zoe Kravitz for her directorial debut, even though it's not without any plot holes or story gaps. What do you think about these plot holes? Did we miss any? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you want more juicy takes on Blink Twice, check out our other videos where we dive into the film's controversies, ending, and behind-the-scenes drama. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching Starstruck TV. See you in the next video.